summertime family fiber podcast at last. I've been meaning to film one for a long time, and we'll see how long this one goes, but this little one doesn't like to do much besides nurse all day. But that's okay. You still love him. He's kind of asleep right now, but not really. Yeah, he might prove me wrong. He likes to do that. Coming to you raw and unfiltered. You can see last time I talked about cleaning up my yarn area, which obviously didn't happen, but that is okay. So, he's 7 weeks old. To me, it feels like he's 7 days old, but I don't know what it seems like to you. It seems like it was just yesterday. So he was born on January 12th. So actually, he's 8 weeks old today, because it's March 12th today. So he's 2 months. Yay! Congratulations, Reuben. So my birth story, if you're into birth stories, is definitely the strangest birth yet. I don't know, it's like they surprise you every time. With my first daughter, my water broke early in the morning, didn't have any contractions until later that evening. Labor came on naturally, 4 hours later, baby girl, no medicine at all, didn't have an IV. It was wonderful. With Davy, my son, I was 2 weeks overdue, and for some reason I went into my appointment 2 weeks overdue and thought that, oh, I wasn't actually gonna have him now, though. They'll let me go longer. It's kind of irrational pregnancy thoughts, but my grandmother had just died too. And, oh, you're okay. I went in, he had no fluid left, so it was like a rushed induction, and looking back, I'm very lucky that I was able to have him naturally, because he was in distress, and yeah, it was bad, but he made it out, and he's fine. He's a grumpy old man, but other than that, he's healthy. And then this little guy, we talked about induction. I'm sorry, I'm probably gonna drive you crazy rocking, but gotta keep moving, right? That's what Reuben likes. This little guy, we went in and we talked about induction. We tried some natural methods, and we were like, well, I'm not really feeling anything, so it must not be working. And then she checked me, she was like, oh, you're almost fully dilated. And I was like, I haven't felt anything at all. So at this point, it was really late at night. So she said we can just wait, or we can speed things up with Pitocin, which is what I chose to do. I was getting a little impatient. And I wonder what would have happened if I hadn't gotten impatient, but either way, it's really hard to tell how long his labor was, because I'm hearing footsteps, making me nervous. Because I didn't even know that I was in labor, so I don't know how long I was really in labor. But I'd say it was terrible for about 30-40 minutes. And then he was here. Strangely, I feel like his was the most painful, even though it was the shortest. But it was like, I feel like no matter what you do, if you have an unmedicated birth or with no pain relief, it's like the pain gets consolidated into a shorter amount of time. So I'm not sure which one is better. I think probably Elsie's labor was my favorite, just because everything went exactly how I had planned. But yeah, he's here either way, and he came through it all like a champ. Wasn't in distress at all. I had gestational diabetes with him, so that's why we were talking about induction. Otherwise, I like just letting him cook as long as they can, even though I was really ready to be done being pregnant by the time 40 weeks roll around. I got a little impatient, but it really was good timing for him because he was ready to come. He was actually 7 pounds 11 ounces when he was born, which is my other two were 8 pounds 6 ounces, identical. So I was expecting him to be bigger, but no, he was smaller. He's my peanut, but he has put on some weight since then, I can tell. He doesn't have an appointment until later this month, but I'm excited to see how much he's gained. He's a little bit squishy. I don't get the real squishy babies. They're kind of lean like their dad, but oh well. We'll take them. So yes, all yarn that you are sent is packed with love by me and Reuben. Because he likes to be with mommy all the time. My husband, actually, Dave, has been helping out too. Trying to get him to help out more. I think I don't know. I think that would be cool. When he has the time. He's busy all the time. Okay, I have a lot of stuff to show you because it's been a while. I want to make sure I talk about everything that I want to talk about. Okay, before I forget, I'm not being paid to say this. I wish I was, but I'm not. So the ladies at the mill, for like kind of baby present, which this is like, talk about an ideal third baby present. They got me a Bissell Crosswave Pet Pro, like the vacuum that everyone's been talking about lately. And I love it. It's probably the nicest present I've ever gotten. I've been completely spoiled. If you're wondering what's the big deal, it does like the sweeping, the mopping, the vacuuming, and the rug steaming like all in one. And it's like specifically designed for hair, which hair happens to be a problem in my house. Not just hair, not just dog hair, not just cat hair, not just rabbit fur, but, you know, wool and fuzz and fluff can be a problem. And then add a wood stove on top of that. So I'm loving my vacuum. However, that does not make me a cleaning expert or guru. I will not be giving you cleaning tips on here. The other tip I will not give you on is makeup. You probably can't tell. Hopefully no one can, but I'm not blessed with makeup skills. It's just not my thing. In fact, both my sisters are. They're both blessed with cleaning and makeup skills. And cooking too. My sister Candace gave me this little thing. It looked like a little like garden hoe, but mini. And she said, you need to take this to your eyebrows. And so I did. And I was like, that works pretty good on my eyebrows. Except I didn't realize when I did that I like cut the eyelashes off this eye. And something I've noticed is that eyelashes do not grow back very quickly. So I still just have little stubby eyelashes on this eye and regular eyelashes on this eye. I started to take these ones out too when I realized what I was doing. I said, oh, well, that is just great. So no makeup tips from me. I have nothing to teach you. Okay, so let's talk about yarn and fiber. Let's start with a yarn. This is an old gift, but I have this friend Sheila who lives down the road, and she just sends me beautiful yarn for some reason. And she sent me this from Fishnets, which I've never heard of, which is super cute. What? How dare the phone ring? It's not a customer, I can tell. So that's good. So that's super cute. And I figured, like, with the weight and the color and how much is in there, that would be super cute for a kid's project. Maybe for Davey, like socks or something. So add that to the list. I finished this. Can't remember if I told you or not. It's kind of like a chunky merino. I have a thickness that I like to spin. It's like comes most naturally to me, and that is super thin. Trying to spin something chunky that doesn't get overly heavy has been kind of a pursuit of mine for a while, loosely pursuing it. But yeah, I kind of tried it out with this. I just had fun. It's super soft, so it's like really squishy and heavy. I don't know what I would make with this. I like knitting with thicker yarn. Like, it just works up so fast. So I finished that. That's nice. And I finished this braid. I actually finished this before Reuben's was born. I almost exclusively call him Reuben's. So poor kid. His name is Reuben. And this is from Spunwear Over the Rainbow. I think I showed you the braid last time we spoke. And it is like self-striping, or like gradient, sort of. And it has little teeny sparkles in it, so I don't know if you can see that. But I absolutely love it. It's just over the top, like celebratory. That's what I feel about rainbow colors. That's why I like them. They're just like happy. So, and her shop is kind of like rainbowy themed, so it's kind of cool. And I bought some possum fiber, some Australian possum fiber. We have possums in the States and in Maine, but they are not like Australian possums, I'm told. And so I got some possum fur. It's actually the first I've dug into this bag. I had like a little bag that I dug into. And it is furry. Now, nothing was killed in the process of this, but it's very short. I have a feeling it's probably usually blended. And there's a lot of different colors going on here too. Notice it's like, it's definitely furry looking though. It's like probably not quite as soft as Angora, but I just saw it and I was like, possum fiber, possum. How can I not try possum? How can I not be a hand spinner? I mean, be a hand spinner and have had the opportunity to spin possum and not do it. So that was my line of thinking. Actually, it wasn't terribly expensive. And I should tell you, oh, I'm sorry, New Zealand possum. Did I say Australia? New Zealand. I should tell you who I got it from. I don't remember. I think Miller. But anyway, I'll try to find the details on that and put that in the description. Nobody pays me to talk about any of their stuff, of course. So if I'm telling you about something, it's because I actually do like it. Okay, so you guys have overwhelmed me with beautiful presents and gifts for Reuben that you guys have lovingly handmade, and I know how much time and effort and planning, dedication, money, yarn, frustration it takes to knit something, so I have really appreciated these. I feel like I've been so busy that I have not had the time to properly thank everybody. Finn does this thing where he likes to run from window to window if he sees something outside. He is a border collie after all. Finn, calm down. It's okay. It's all right. It's gonna be okay. I talked him off the ledge. Okay, so Linda Lake and Sue Richard. I always want to say Richard because I had a friend that their name was spelled like that. But anyway, they sent me these beautiful colorwork sweaters. Oh my word, look at that. I think it definitely has room to grow, and I think it would almost fit Davy, but I've been debating putting it on him because I don't want poor Reuben to have everything hand-me-downs, but still, a wool sweater, you know, the longer it's been around, the better it gets, right? So it wouldn't be like a hand-me-down. They're real wool. It's like an old quilt. Like, the longer you've had it, the more snuggly and nice it feels. I like things like that. I was just thinking the other day how much I hate throwing something out after I've only owned it for a year because it's all tattered and torn. And then here's this one. Look at the color work. Beautiful. Here, I've got to get up close on these color works without waking up the baby. Yes, we can do it. We can do it. So cute. I like how the neck is a little loose on here too. This looks like red BWO. It's either gray heather or turquoise. An evergreen body. Linda and Sue, it's overwhelming. And this has a beautiful red and gray heather for the body. It looks like maybe brown heather or something similar in the color work. Look at that. so sweet. I mean, I was not expecting all these gifts and presents, you guys. You're just spoiled me. And Linda actually sent this nice blanket too. Nice flannel. She also sent me, where did it go? It's not here. A woodcut. Let's see, it's a copy of a woodcut card that shows her daughter shearing sheep. I don't know if I said that right, but it was really cool. And nice to see a fellow woman shearer. Oh, okay, speaking of that, I'm gonna pause. Do I want to talk about this? Probably not. So I've set a fitness goal, after baby, to get in shearing shape, because in May we start shearing. Probably a little before that we're gonna start crutching, which is like clearing away the wool around the. Okay, I'm back. My phone ran out of space, and there's no way I'm gonna be deleting baby pictures, so you got some decisions to make. Anyway, back on my husband's phone. What was I talking about? Okay, so crutching will start probably April-ish, where we are removing the wool around the udder so that the lambs aren't nursing on wool and dags and everything. And then I want to be in good shearing shape by May and June, so you tell how excited I am about it. But anyway, yeah, be nice to have a little accountability, I guess. But okay, I am really excited though for the weather to turn nice, and for lambing, for shearing, for beach days and everything. It's kind of been a good timing to to be pregnant through 2020, and then to have a baby in January, because it's like, no one's doing much of anything anyway. So I didn't really miss out on too much being pregnant, because nothing was going on. So here's another sweater that Auntie Megan made for Reuben. So cute. This one will fit him. Actually, I should try it on, because it might fit him right now. I don't have a ton of baby clothes for him, but it's actually kind of nice, because like with the other two, I was like overwhelmed with clothes, and it gets overwhelming. So it's kind of nice to just have a few outfits that you wash. I like that idea. I love on the sleeve of this, the design. I'm not exactly sure how she did it, but super cute. Very cute. And so I finished these sweaters. I don't know where the other one is, somewhere around here, but they're pretty much identical. Caleb's is a little bigger than Davy's, and this is the little nomad sweater. I made one for Davy, and then I made one for his cousin Caleb, which is his best bro. So I'm calling them best friend sweaters. And there is like a onesie baby version that I'm making for Reuben. I haven't started it yet, but I'm gonna make for Reuben, so they can all match. I should make another one for the other boy cousins. I realized that this top row of ribbing, like 6 rows of ribbing, was supposed to be white, but I actually kind of like the look of how it is this way, but I didn't notice that till it was on the second sweater, because I have a really bad habit of looking at a pattern, and then as I get going on it, like, oh yeah, I got this, and then just setting it aside and kind of like, oh, do I remember what is supposed to be? But okay, so oh yes, we got more sweaters to show. I think I've shown you this one before. This is another one that you guys sent in. Look at this. Cabled. Sorry, Reuben, I'm putting it right on your head. And a matching hat. Adorable. Oh, that was from Prue Dooley and Lowell. Okay. So, I have really not been able to do much knitting these days. It's hard because it's my stress reliever, and I use some stress relief these days, so I didn't realize how much I use it for stress relief until I can't. I am working on that pair of socks that I was knitting in labor with him. I finished a pair of mittens when I was in labor with him. But like I said, I didn't even realize I was in labor because it was so painless. But what I've been working on so far is a mitten pattern. And this mitten pattern, I was thinking about calling it Mittens Many Ways, but I kind of want to call it like Overthinking Mittens, because here's my thought. My mom and I used to knit for like craft fair, not just craft fairs, but like special order designs. So people would have a particular way that they wanted like their mittens to feel, their hat to look. You know, they like it when it's like this. And I asked a question on my site about how roomy people like their mittens to be, and I thought the variety of responses was really interesting, because some people felt pretty adamant about different things. So I actually like my mittens to be pretty snug, not a lot of extra room. You know, like if I can open my fingers like this, that's okay, but I don't like a lot of loose floppy fabric. But my mom always tells me that my mittens are too small. No, she's usually right, but this time it could just be a matter of preference. So anyway, my thought with this mitten pattern was to make a mitten pattern that was kind of like a basic design, and you can customize it. So the first customizable thing is I did it on size 4 in Heritage, and in order to size up, you can do size 5 needles up to size 6. Technically, you could go up to size 8. They'd start to get a little looser gauge by then. But so we have these reversible flip top mittens, which these are not done yet. I still gotta put like the little button that goes on the back. And one of the other things is this has like a thumb slit in it, so these are the most practical in my opinion. So you have your mitten, and ta-da, but there's a thumb slit, so if you need to use your thumb along with your fingers, you can. Now, I know that having that hole there would drive some people absolutely insane. It looks kind of unfinished, but for me, I'm very practical, and I actually find myself not wearing mittens as much as I do fingerless gloves, because I end up having to take them off to do things. So if I could do that, I feel like that'd be more practical. But you are also going to be able to customize the pattern to make, let me find what I did with it, to make full-size mittens. Of course, the ends aren't tucked in yet. I call this color Orange Creamsicle. My mom made it for me eons ago. See, these are pretty tight mittens. Yeah, so there's a full-size mitten, and I'm doing the top like how my grandma used to do them. I don't know if that's standard or not. She used to just knit till you're almost ready to be done, and then aggressively decrease and just pull it through. So it's almost completely mitten, which is great for color work if you want to add color work too, because you don't have to work in a lot of decreases. Just the last 2 rows as decreases on your mitten. Kind of like what's typical for a thumb, but for the top. It does make it like it's not as fitted on your fingers, but it's okay by me. So yeah, there's not much finger space in here, but I kind of like it that way. I'm not sure why, but I do. I really like these mittens. These are probably going to be my go-to mittens, but I gotta get them tucked in and blocked and photographed. When you do the aggressive bind off like that, decrease, I mean, you really do have to like sew it in though, because it'll come apart if not. Okay, so then there's another option too, to have just the fingerless glove, and then I'm working on one too that's the fingerless glove, but with the fabric meeting between the fingers in the middle, but I'm working on like a cheater version so that you can do that just in the cast off, so there it doesn't come up between each finger, but it attaches between each finger, because that was something that a lot of people, when they're asking us to knit fingerless gloves for them, they'd say, I want it to go in between my fingers, but they didn't want it thick and bulky between their fingers so that they're walking around like this all the time. So it really is a science. Or maybe it's the opposite of a science. It's more like a preference. So, like I said, I hope to have that pattern up before too long. Everything is taking a little bit longer than usual for a couple of reasons. One, because, I got this little one and taking time to enjoy him too. Also, Yarn Life has been quite busy, which is a great thing. Thank you very much. We have had some struggles with shortages at the mill, just because I think demand has increased so much. That's really the main reason. There hasn't been no one's been sick or anything, thank goodness. So everyone just wants yarn, I guess. So a lot of things have been out of stock, or just have to wait like a week or two, which it's hard for me because I really don't like saying no to anybody or saying, sorry, we don't have that. So much so that sometimes I like, oh, sure, I'll get that for you, thinking, oh, we probably don't have that. I'll just tell them later, which I shouldn't do, but I hate to say no to people. But one of our things for me, and also I know for Briggs & Little, is that there's certain values that we hold dear, and that's, quality, having things be small, supporting families, supporting workers, shepherds and flocks, but it does high quality, that's another thing, but that does come at a cost to speed sometimes, so it's hard to do all of those things and be lightning fast at the same time. I saw a visual once that it had quality, affordability, and speed, and it was it had those three things, and it was you have to choose two. You can't have all three at once, so it's you're always striving for all three, but there's always one of them that if you sneak over on to one side, the other one will not get done. So personally, speed is the thing that I choose to sacrifice between those, because I want everything to be affordable, and the quality obviously is important to me, so sometimes it just takes a little bit longer. But honestly, you guys have always been so great about that and understanding that. It's me who feels bad about it. But let's see, I know I'm forgetting something. Yes, next time I talk to you guys, we won't have lambs, but we'll be very close. And this guy will be a little more agile. We can go out and do some sheeping together. But we've had a fun winter tucked in. It's been a little more difficult to cross the border. Actually, it's been a lot more difficult to cross the border. Without getting too much into it, there's just I have to be tested, which I think is a great idea, but the test, it takes 5 days to come back, but they want it to be less than 3 days old. So yeah, it's been a little challenging, but it's, I don't know, we're making it work. That's what we're gonna do. So I will be in touch with you guys. I'm thinking of a color of the month for March. I think it's going to be fern, but I want to make sure it's something that I have plenty of. But I think it's going to be fern, so stay tuned. I guess I will sign off before this guy wakes up. See, I told you he was going to try to prove me wrong. I said, oh, all he does is nurse, and all he's done is sleep this whole time. He's been a good little boy. Anyway, thank you guys for listening, and we'll talk to you later. Hello and welcome to the Maritime Family Farmer Podcast.